The sound of the gavel echoed through the courtroom like a thunderclap, silencing every whisper in the air. At the center stood a man in handcuffs, broad-shouldered, calm-eyed, and wearing a look of quiet dignity despite the chaos around him. His name was Ethan Cole, a decorated Delta Force commander, a man who had bled for his country, now accused of a crime that could destroy his life forever. Across the room sat Victor Dane, a billionaire CEO with a smug smirk on his face, the kind that only comes from power, money, and the certainty that the world bends to your will. The charge: corporate espionage, embezzlement, and theft of military-grade technology. The truth: far darker than anyone imagined. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the power of truth, then please take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness Journal. Because stories like this remind us that justice, no matter how buried, always finds its way to the light. Ethan had never been a man of words, he was a man of action. A single father raising his 8-year-old daughter, Maya, after his wife's passing during his last overseas deployment. Their small suburban home was simple but filled with warmth. A cracked picture frame of his unit, medals collecting dust on the wall, and Maya's laughter filling every corner. He worked as a private security consultant now, trying to make ends meet, balancing grocery bills with school fees. For years he kept his head down until Victor Dane, owner of Dane Tech Industries, a defense contractor, offered him a lucrative position in corporate security. At first, it seemed like a blessing. Ethan would finally be able to give Maya the stable life she deserved. He admired Victor's polished charm and charisma. The man spoke of patriotism, innovation, and opportunity for veterans. Ethan believed him. But beneath Victor's smooth exterior hid a man consumed by greed. He was secretly selling restricted military prototypes to foreign buyers and needed someone trustworthy to cover his tracks. A hero whose reputation could mask his crimes. Ethan was perfect for that. One late afternoon, as sunlight filtered through the office blinds, Ethan discovered something he shouldn't have. A classified schematic for a surveillance drone, one that matched restricted Delta Force technology, was being uploaded to an encrypted server. The signature on the approval document carried his name. Confused, he dug deeper and found dozens of forged authorizations linked to him. Before he could react, Victor walked in. "Curiosity can be dangerous, Ethan," he said coldly. Within 24 hours, the police stormed his home. His computer, bank account, and phone were all planted with evidence. The media devoured the story: war hero turns traitor. Delta Force commander caught selling military tech. Overnight, Ethan became a villain. The neighbors stopped looking him in the eye. Maya was bullied at school, her friends whispering that her dad was a criminal. Yet, Ethan refused to break. Behind bars, he kept replaying that moment in Victor's office, vowing to expose the truth no matter the cost. Weeks turned into months. His court-appointed attorney didn't believe him. He lost his home, his car, and everything except the drawing Maya had made of them together. A stick figure holding his hand with the words, "My hero dad." It became his anchor. Then, a glimmer of hope appeared in the form of Rachel Grant, a young, idealistic lawyer who had once served in the Army's legal corps. She'd heard about Ethan's case and knew something didn't add up. The evidence was too perfect, too clean. When Rachel visited Ethan in county jail, she found him sitting quietly, reading Maya's letters. "I don't care about clearing my name anymore," he said softly. "I just want my daughter to know I didn't do it." Rachel replied, "Then let's make sure the whole world knows you didn't." The investigation began anew. Rachel combed through Dane Tech's digital archives, tracing timestamps, IP logs, and emails. She found ghost users and duplicate entries, signs of manipulation. But every lead was erased before she could act. Someone inside the system was covering Victor's tracks. Desperate, she reached out to one of Ethan's old comrades from Delta Force, Marcus Hale, now a cybersecurity specialist. Together, they unearthed fragments of data showing that the encrypted uploads originated not from Ethan's home, but from Victor's private server. Still, without full access, they needed hard proof. Ethan was released on conditional bail, and every step outside the courthouse felt like walking through a storm of judgmental eyes. Strangers whispered. Employers rejected him. Even Maya's school almost expelled her because of negative publicity. But each night, he tucked her in, promising, "One day, sweetheart, they'll know the truth." The final showdown came when Rachel received an anonymous email with a video attachment, security footage from inside Dane Tech's restricted lab. It showed Victor personally inserting a flash drive into the terminal under Ethan's login credentials. The time stamp matched the night of the supposed theft. But the file came with a warning. If you go public, you'll regret it. The next morning, Rachel's car was vandalized. Ethan's house was searched again by federal agents claiming new evidence. Someone was pulling strings. But it was too late. The truth was already in motion. Rachel took the footage to court despite threats, and the judge agreed to reopen the case. The courtroom filled with press, veterans, and corporate officials. Victor arrived in his expensive suit, radiating arrogance. When Ethan took the stand, his voice trembled at first, but soon steadied. "I've seen men die for this country. I've carried them home under the same flag I was accused of betraying. But I'd rather stand here as an honest man with nothing than live as a liar with everything." The room fell silent. Then came the moment of truth. Rachel presented the video evidence. The screen flickered to life, showing Victor inserting the flash drive. Gasps filled the air. The prosecutor tried to object, but it was too late. The video was authenticated, and Victor's empire began to crumble before everyone's eyes. His attorneys whispered frantically. His expression turned pale. Within hours, the truth exploded across national headlines. Billionaire CEO framed war hero. Corporate scandal rocks defense industry. Ethan was fully exonerated. The courtroom erupted in applause as he hugged Rachel, tears welling in his eyes. The judge publicly apologized for the injustice. Victor Dane was later convicted on charges of fraud, perjury, and illegal arms trading. But for Ethan, victory wasn't about revenge. It was about redemption. That evening, Ethan stood outside the courthouse, the afternoon sun warming his face as Maya ran into his arms. "I told you, Daddy," she whispered. "Heroes always win." He laughed, holding her close. "Not always, baby, but this time we did." For the first time in years, he felt free, not just from prison walls but from the weight of falsehood. The media that once destroyed him now celebrated his integrity, calling him the soldier who defeated greed. Rachel and Marcus helped him start a new foundation, Valor Lives, dedicated to helping veterans wrongfully accused or struggling to rebuild their lives. Donations poured in not because of fame, but because Ethan's story touched the core of humanity, the power of truth, faith, and the bond between a father and his child. But beneath the triumph was quiet reflection. Late one evening, Ethan sat on the porch with Maya asleep inside, watching the sky turn soft with twilight. He whispered, "All I ever wanted was peace, not glory." The wind rustled the flag by his porch, the same one that had draped his fallen brothers. In that moment, he realized something profound. Sometimes, the hardest battles aren't fought on foreign soil, but within the walls of injustice and fear.